Hey guys, how's it going today? So today we're going to do some breakfast muffins. I've spoken about them, shown them on the page. Everybody seems pretty keen. So also got a new toy that I want to play with today. So let's see how that goes as well. So yeah, let's get into it. So the main ingredients you're going to need for this is bacon. I use smoked bacon because it's just nice, thick stuff's quite nice. Eggs, of course, tomatoes, cheese, and I usually go with spinach, but today we're going to be going with these spring greens. Not sure how it's going to work out, but I particularly like spring greens. It's just one of those really, really yummy vegetables that you can just eat raw. It's so nice, it's so sweet. And of course the old the fry light. This stuff's a business. So let's get into it. So today we're going to be making 12. We're going to need one of these as well. So we're going to be making 12. Okay, now 12 is going to see 2 of you, so husband, whatever, wife, whatever. It's going to see 2 of you through for a week. Need one of these in the morning, and it'll set you up for the whole morning. All that protein and everything just keeps you nice and full inside. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to not do that. First thing we're going to do is we're just going to spray the muffin tin with a little bit of fry light. One spray in each should do well. Yeah, do it from a little height so you get nice coverage. Doesn't have to be absolutely drenched. This is just going to stop everything from sticking. Alright, that's that prepared. So that's one side. And now we'll let's give this a go. So we're going to crack the eggs. This has got like loads of attachments, so I've not actually used it yet, so let's see what happens. Okay. It's the first time I've ever seen one that's got a whisk on it, which is quite cool. That's kind of why I bought it. I bought it from Lidl, but I'm sure you can kind of get it from anywhere else. Oh, that's good. Alright, so now for 12 muffins, muffin things, you're going to need about 8 eggs. Because of all the other gumph that goes into it as well, you don't need 12 eggs. If you use 12 eggs, you're going to need another muffin tray. You're probably going to get about 14 or 15 out of 12 eggs. Okay, so let's crack on. Let's do this. Eggs are so versatile, especially for morning stuff, because it keeps you nice and full for the whole day. It's got all that protein. It's just got a really good way to set you up for the day. And also, it's really quick to prepare. I mean, not just this, but you know, your scrambled egg. That's like a 5-minute job. Your scrambled egg. So, I mean, here we go. I always keep a saucepan by side. Throw my crap in there. Saves having bins and everything everywhere. Okay, so let's give this a beat to the beat. Right, it's like we're going to go everywhere, or it's going to work really well. I've not tried this, haven't I? Whoa. Okay. That's got potential going everywhere. Okay, you definitely don't want to use the turbo button here, or you're going to end up wearing it. But once you get it going, it's also go. I'm on the fence about that. I mean, it's good and everything, but it'd be just as easy just to use a whisk. Right, okay, so that's your eggs beaten. Bit of salt in there, crack of salt in there, not too much, straight for your sodium. Bit of pepper. This is like the spice of gods, so definitely want to be putting some pepper in there. And whatever else in there. Use some chives or something like that. Chives would be nice. And like, if you give it a smell, you can smell the pepper in there. Lovely. I love a bit of pepper. Okay, so got our eggs nice and seasoned. Got our muffin tray all sorted. Okay, so let's put that to one side, out of the way so I don't tip it. So now how are we going to do these? So we get our muffin tray here. And what we're going to need is 12 pieces of bacon, yeah? I might not add 12 pieces of bacon because I used some the other day, so we'll just go as far as we can. We'll just have to improvise. Okay. Okay, now, boom. These on the silver knife today. The other knife's a little bit too light, I find. This is the old set I had, but unfortunately the handles are starting to break off, so I've had to buy a new set, but they were really like 20 quid. So, okay, so what you want to do here is just chop the bacon in half. Okay, remember, cool hand, yeah, so you don't chop your fingers off. I don't want any fingers. I won't say that. Okay. Oh, sorry, that's made me chuckle. Okay. I won't edit that out. I'll let you use your imagination. Okay. So that's the bacon done. Okay. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to take our bacon and we're just going to make a little cup in each one like this. It don't matter if you miss a little bit, yeah, because the when the egg cooks in there, it's going to kind of seal up all the bits and pieces anyway. So we've got this now. Yep, and we want to do that in every little hole. Get them all nice and filled up. Boom, boom. It's up to you where you put them in. I like to put the fat on the top. You know, I wouldn't really worry about the fat too much. But that's just me and the diet I'm on. If you're on a low calorie diet, you might want to trim the fat off or something like that. So, but that's up to you. A fun little factor. You can actually eat bacon raw. Would you believe? It's one of the few meats, along with beef, obviously. You can eat raw. It tastes all right. I wouldn't recommend it for like a full meal, but yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I'll show you. Let's have this bit here. Yep. There you go. Yeah, that's quite good. It's kind of like smoked salmon in a way. A bit weird. A little bit jiggery pokery there to get it all to fit. Okay, right, so next thing we're going to need, so we get all the bacon there, and stuff. Right, next thing we're going to need to do is start putting the filling in. So I would usually put spinach across the bottom, but I've got no spinach because we ate it the other day. So instead we're going to use these greens, as I said. You don't want to do a really thick layer at the bottom because remember you're only going to get some other stuff in there as well. So we're just going to put like a couple of bits on the bottom here. Yeah, here we go. This stuff's so good. It's like super cheap as well. You get some crappy bits in there, and you just chuck them to one side. Oh, I'll put it in the saucepan now. Oh, this is going to be so good. You don't have to stick to this recipe, it's more the method than the recipe, really. Just the process behind it and stuff. Oh. I always get quite excited about making food. It's one of those things that I really enjoy doing. And talking, obviously, as you guys can imagine. I talk a lot. Right, here we go. So, that's the greens in. So, we've got our bacon, we've got our greens. Now, no, we'll leave the tomatoes to the end. Right. Whichever cheese you like, you're not going to need a load. This is really just to, oh crap. This is really just to add a little bit of extra flavour. That's going to be too much for 12. That's going to be just around about 85 grams, I'd imagine. But I reckon you probably get away with like 25 grams, 30 grams, something like that. Maybe more. So, got one of these. My nan used to have one, and it used to be a bright orange one. I used to remember how great it was. How great it was. Simple things. It's one of these days today. Right, so we're just going to grate a little bit of cheese out. Look at that. It's like grating without the pain. Okay, so I would say we're going to need about 50 grams of cheese for 12 of them, because that little bit there is that little pile there is going to go a long way. because we're only going to use that as a sprinkle it. Cheese done. Boom. Right. So back to our eggs here. Okay. Now what we're going to do is just want to fill these up a little bit. Try to share it around, obviously, because you want everybody to get a bit. But do remember that when you cook these, eggs being eggs, they're going to expand. Okay, they're going to kind of muffin top. Okay, so I would say probably fill them 3/4, maybe 4/5 full. Any more than that, and they'll all kind of bleed into each other and stuff. So, yeah, don't go too nuts. Oh man, that looks so good. So hungry. I didn't fast last night because I had a bit of the diet blues. So today I kind of treated myself, and I woke up and I had scrambled egg with pepper and some of that spicy sausage that I showed you the other day, and my Barocca. And that kind of picked me right up. Eggs are always great for that, because of I don't have to keep on going over what's going on with eggs. They're really good. Right, there you can see, right? We've almost gone through all of the mix here, and just top them up. Boom, boom. Top up the small ones that I haven't got much in. Look at that, 8 eggs, spot on. This is handy. Even if the other thing's not, this is bloody good. Right, so that's that done. Set that to one side. Okay. Now, tomatoes, baby plum tomatoes. These things are like sweets, mate. These are like sweets of nature, I like to call them. So we're going to need half of one of these for each one. And what this is going to do is going to give each one a little pop. Make it taste really nice. It just sweeten the mix a little bit. Now, when I'm cutting these, I'll do it with a paring knife because that's a bit big for that. It might be £20, but it's still bloody sharp. What I'm going to do is, when you're cutting them, don't cut them straight down, because what will happen is they kind of squish down and they balloon a little bit. But if you kind of cut them at 45 degrees, I don't know if you can see that, about 45 degrees at an angle, then you kind of slice through it a little bit better, and it doesn't pop. So that's a little in for you. So also you're going to need a bloody sharp knife, and this is not a sharp knife. This, however, is a crazy sharp knife. Okay, so just hang on that, and what you're going to end up with here is difficult to show you from this distance. I'm like miles away. Okay. So we've got 12, so we're going to need 6 tomatoes. And I'm going to do that one again because that's like really small. So my dog's just there looking at all the food. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to plonk that half tomato in the top. I like to do it face up, so the juicy bit up. We're just going to plonk that in the top, in the middle, yeah. Now, I was going to put parsley in these, but seeing it's got that tomato in it, you know, I might actually go with basil, because basil and tomato, honestly, match made in heaven. And if you can get the fresh stuff is where is that? Grey Rain. I've got a bunch of it back there. The basil's a little bit depleted because I've been cracking on with it recently. It's like one of my favourite herbs. So, but we'll see what we can get out of it. Okay. So that's that. We'll stick an onion ring on top of each one of them. So the old onion. It's quite possibly one of my favourite ingredients of all time. So the white onions are nice, but the red onions are the best, really. They've got that extra sweetness to them. You don't get that bitterness or that harshness to them. Tell me what you think. That's my personal opinion, but get the old mandolin slicer. As you guys already know, this is one of my favourite tools. See some of you commenting on it in my last video, So, okay, so 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hey, look at that. That's like wafer thin. Look at that. Brilliant. Okay, that's going to be perfect. So we're going to pop those on there as well. Boom, boom, boom. That's crazy thin. I've never got it that thin before. Okay. So, last two bits we've got to do now is a little bit of basil, a little bit of cheese. Boom, and that's it. So we'll get some basil. That's the last of the basil plant. So this stuff, oh man, this is, I used to get that, that's just like the best smell. I love it, I love it. That and mint, not together. So a little hint for cutting up herbs and stuff, yeah? Roll them up into a ball, twist them around, get your knife. Instead of cutting each individual one, you can cut the whole lot all in one go. There you go, fingers out of the way. I tend to throw the stalks in and everything. Get everything out of it that I can. Okay, so I'm going to pop that on top of each one. Not a huge amount because although basil's really, really yummy, it can be quite overwhelming as a herb. It's a very powerful tasting herb. So you're only going to need a little bit. He says, you kind of throwing loads on there. But if you haven't got basil, use something else. The dry stuff works as well, but it's just not anywhere near as flavoursome as the fresh stuff, you know. And I mean, I think Asda's doing it for like 50p for a live plant at the moment. So you can't really go wrong with that, can you? Just bring it in, whack it in a pot, and there you go, done. Right, so you waffling on. See what always happens. So, right, we're looking great. So what we're going to do now, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, bang it in the oven, and then probably about 15-20 minutes, just keep an eye on it. I usually put the timer on for, 10 minutes, go and have a cup of tea, and then check it at 10 minutes, and you kind of know, when it's going to be done, because it's, if it looks like a hot air balloon in there, then it's pretty much done, because it does puff up quite a lot. Now, the cool thing about this is, so when we're measuring our carbs and our calories for this, just measure the whole batch and then divide it by 12. Yeah, don't try and figure out. I mean, I'm trying to choose. Don't try to figure out each individual one because, unless you're some kind of scientist, that ain't going to happen. Just take an average, and that's what I've been doing for the past 6 or 7 weeks, and the weight's been literally dropping off me. So I've almost hit my target weight. I'm 171 pounds today, actually, and my target's 169. So I'm like this close, and that's just by eating like this. I mean, I've not done loads of thinking about it. I've just been kind of making Mediterranean style foods and fasting. Anyway, I'll talk about that later. I'm going to do a whole video on the diet and what you need to do if you want to follow a similar diet. So just give me one sec. I'm just going to get a different cheese because I've run out of cheese there. So this is just a different kind of cheese. This is pre-grated. It's kind of cheese. Just for these two that I've missed out here. Right, and that's your lot, mate. That's it. You're done. As always, the only reason it's taken a while is because I've been waffling on, as I always do. So I kind of like to hear it, saying in my own voice. So what we're going to do? Stick them in the oven. 10 minutes. Check them. If you need a bit longer, just put the time on for another 5 minutes. You kind of judge it. See how you feel. See how you feel when you look at it. If they're starting to kind of go crispy and brown on the top, then you're kind of done. I won't go much further than that. Don't worry about the bacon. The bacon's going to cook and everything because it's going to be banging hot in there. So when you finish these up, what I do is you don't really need to put them in the fridge. That's the cool thing, because they're cooked and everything. What's I found anyway, and I haven't had food poisoning yet, so just put them in a Tupperware box and line the Tupperware box with a paper towel. Put a layer of these in there. You get a big Tupperware box, you can fit about 6 in there. Lay another paper towel over the top of that, and then another layer, and then a layer of paper towel over that. So there's a paper towel between everything, just like cakes. And sit them in a cool place. Obviously don't put them in the sun, or you will end up with food poisoning, and nobody wants that. So I put them on top of the microwave, because that's in the corner over there, and out of the sun, out of direct sunlight. And yeah, these will last for a week, just sat on top of the microwave, or just in the shade. So somewhere cool. So yeah, well, there we go, mate. I will post a picture after this of what they look like when they're all cooked up, because I'll not put the oven on. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, we'll pop one out, and we'll see what it looks like. So cool. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for listening. And any suggestions, whack them in the comments underneath. I was thinking about doing a YouTube channel. Tell me what you think about it. I don't know. This is all a bit new to me. I don't want to kind of go over the top and become some kind of YouTube dude. But I would like more people to kind of see what I'm doing and see how easy it is to diet without just eating crap, really. It's all about putting good, tasty stuff inside yourself and enjoying your diet. There's no need to kind of punish yourself with drinking Slim Fasts and all that crap. I tried Slim Fasts, and to tell you the truth, no, it didn't work for me. My wife tried Slim Fast. We've got like loads of Slim Fast under there, and it just doesn't work for me. This kind of wholesome food from scratch, this is the way forward, guys. If you want to drop a ton of weight, keep them carbs off, and don't eat after 8 o'clock when you turn into a gremlin. Alright? Okay, cheers, guys. I'll let you see these when they're done. Cheers.